Hello, and glad to have you here. Today, I would like to have a talk around what is one of the most important aspects of you in your business as well as your everyday life. And I have three awesome points that I want to bring up. So, when we're talking about one of the most important aspects of you as a person, and it has to do with how you handle your business and your everyday life and the things that happen during those times in those things, in those important aspects of your life. What do you think that that is? I know it could be several things, but I'd just like to know what you're thinking. And as you're hopping on, I'm sorry if there's a little noise. As you're hopping on, please drop in where you're coming in from. Let me know what you're thinking it is that we're talking about today. And just, it has to do with that's why I put our life in there, our daily life, as well as our business. And it's one of those really important things that maybe we don't think about every day. I don't think I did when I was much younger, but as I started to get older, I started to notice things and, became more curious about certain aspects of me that I didn't quite like, and I wanted to do something about it. So, what are you thinking? I know sometimes the chat is slow, but I want to tell you basically what it is. I'm still looking for you in the chat, but and that's I know sometimes people are listening, but they can't get to the computer to put a comment in. That's fine. You can put it in later as well. So if you're here with me live, as well as if you are going to be catching us on the replay, that's fine. I will still give you a shout out, especially from where you're coming in from. I'm coming in from the Lou in the Midwest and of the United States. So it's just a easier way of saying it. And I actually looked it up because I've heard several people say it. And I was like, oh, okay, rather than going and then trying to explain where I actually, am located in the United States, it was just simpler. So the Lou in the Midwest of the United States. So that's where I'm coming in from. So if you'll share with me where you're coming from, then we can go from there. Now, what I'd like to do first is read this definition to you to a certain degree from the one of the articles that I used as I was doing my research to see if there was anything new, if anything changed, from what I already know. And this young lady had written an article. So I've got it on my other screen. So you're going to see me over there, looking over there as I'm going to read this to you. And then I'll be looking down here and on my other little devices right there. So I have some helps to keep me on track. And I want to be very, very aware of your time and my time because your time is important and so is mine. And I know you have things to do. We all do. We're busy people and hopefully more productive than busy. But there I go again, off on another tangent. So this is Catherine Edelman, and this is what she says. And I really actually really agree with this. I've heard it said other ways, but I really like the way she says it. So mindset is the lens through which we view the world. It shapes how we perceive situations, solve problems, and interact with each other. And then she says it's the software that runs our thinking and decision making. And so basically that's it. But I wanted to give you those first parts because for me, it's important that my mindset is where it should be, that it's straight, that that I'm, you know, more aware of what's going on with me and how I can do things to help me to change things that aren't going as well or that are making me feel a certain way, and it's not a good way. So I like the way that she says that, and then every time I, do a little bit more research, checking things out to see if things have, changed, or if anyone has found any more information, then I, continue to find just, something that has a little bit more of what makes it important to me. And also, I'm hoping important to those to those that I talk to those that I want to help. So before I get going anymore, almost forgot to introduce myself, but I caught myself. So let me just introduce myself to those of you. My tongue is getting stuck to my teeth. To those of you that I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to be able to come online, use social media to find prospects, leads, and sales for their business. And I do that in a variety of ways. I use attraction marketing, I use lead generation, and I talk a lot about live video because those are really, really important points that we deal with when we come online. And most people are online now because, of what we're walking through in our lives for the last 2 years or so. And we just need to know, a good way to do it, a better way to do it. And so in talking about that, and then there's one more thing. I use modern and updated and trending strategies and tips to share with you as well. Now, the other thing that I wanted to say before I get involved, and then I always forget to ask, or does anybody have questions? Do you understand what I'm saying and that kind of stuff? But I want to get this out before I keep going. So I also want to put on the video when it's downloaded. It's top two anti-salesy posts that actually attract people to you. And we want to attract those people to us that we want to, help. Those people that we have either built up a passion for, or those people that, there's something in us that makes us want to help or serve those particular people, that particular people in a particular niche, or those people in a particular niche. So, niche, whichever way you like to pronounce it, that's fine. So it's just so important to be able to know who it is you're talking to. And I'm going off on another tangent, but I'm going to come back in. But it's important to know who you're talking to. So that is a part of these top two anti-salesy posts that attract people to you. So we'll have the information on the video when it's downloaded in the comment section, and you'll be able to take advantage of it. And hopefully it'll help you, like, it's helped me, and helped so many others. So now let me get back to my list here. So when we're talking about mindset, for me, I think about, there are a few different types of mindset that you can have. The two that I mainly want to focus on today is growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset, and positive mindset as opposed to a negative mindset. So when we're talking about the mindset, like I, read, which I'm just going to kind of break some things down and just, speak in everyday language, but I just want to give you that definition so that you can have that to think about. But for me, mindset is it's those things, but it's, it's also being self-aware. It's being able to um you know decide how you're going to handle things. And if you're not handling things well, if you're, upset all the time, if you're stressed out, if you're going through a lot of changes, if you know, are, and you know, I should have stayed with one. So I'm gonna stick with the one that I'm on now. But you know, it's so important for us to be able to be in a positive mindset as opposed to a negative, because I don't know if you believe like I believe, but I believe that words are powerful. I believe that we develop thoughts depending on what our mindset is set on and what we've been through in our lives, and you know, where we come from, how we grew up, you know, the things that we dealt with and how did we deal with them. And if we dealt with them maybe not in as good of a way as we could, then as we've grown some more, as we continue to grow, that we're learning better ways to deal with things, because we're always going to be dealing with adversity. It's just there. It's always going to be there. I'm dealing with it myself today. My eye is partially closed. I hope you can't really see that, but if you can, sorry about that. But I'm just dealing with that, you know, and some other issues that are going on. But I still want to show up and be able to do what it is that I do to help those people and serve those people that I want to help and serve. And those people are people like me, people that were out there trying to build old school and not having the success, or, you know, the growth, the, you know, the I'm trying to think of the right words to use, because there are certain words that you can't use on Facebook. But basically, I wasn't getting where I needed to be. I wasn't having what I thought I was going to have to help me and my kids. And I have 2 sons. And so, you know, after a while of having to leave them by themselves, and they were just a little bit too young for that, you know, they weren't making good decisions, and they have some other issues. So I was like, you know, I just can't do this anymore. I just had to stop and find something different, which I did. And I found something that's a wellness, not wellness, something that is a mentorship company, as well as for me, an educational company. So that for me, you know, along with some of the things that I've done throughout my life to change myself to be a better person, to be a more caring person, to be a person who lifts others up. When I really wanted to put people down, I wanted to make people feel like I felt when I was being bullied and going through the stress and the, you know, I never cried as far as I know, and you know, as far as I've asked my, you know, brothers and sisters. And you know, it just wasn't one of those things that I did, but I know inside I felt pain. And it was constant from, you know, junior high through maybe mid high school. And it was just difficult to deal with things. And so then I thought, you know, because there was no one around me saying it's okay, you know, they're just people that have issues themselves, and they're just taking them out on you. I didn't have anyone who really knew to say that to me, to help me out. So I wanted to get back at people for what I had gone through, which is not right. And so as I started to think of, you know, how I was going to be rude to people and how I was going to be, you know, not nice, it just didn't sit well, and it never really came full out, you know, it was just like my thoughts. But I had to change those thoughts and think about lifting people up, because that's what I would have wanted. I would have wanted someone to lift me up, to help me up, to build me up, to let me know that, yeah, I am worth it, that I am loved, that I am cared for, you know. And so when you're self aware, you know, and you're growing in self awareness, then you can pick up on certain things and you can help yourself to change by doing research, therapy, you know, going to seminars, you know, different things to help you to grow yourself into a different person, the person that you really like, a person that you really truly love. And that's really important. So one of those things that I do a lot, and I learned this way back and I still do it now, is self-talk, positive self-talk. Every now and then the negative will creep in there and I'm like, no, 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 not today, and so I keep doing self-talk to help myself. I also, and let's see, I have self-talk, positive self-talk, and I already talked about being self-aware, and I'm just trying to make sure that I'm staying on track. And the other thing that I have is gratitude. Now, there are a lot of things that we can do to help ourselves, but these are kind of at the top of the list for me. And gratitude is really at the top of the list because it's hard to, be, and I've heard my mentors say this several times, that it's hard to be nasty and or mean or whatever when you're coming from a place of gratitude for having, what it is that you have, for having a home. Some people don't have homes, for having a car. I have a car. Some people don't have a car. Some people can't get to where they need to go, so it's just important to be grateful for the things that I have and to let that keep me positive. And so when I'm getting to, let's see, so yeah, positive. Okay. So now let me go to the other one. I'm looking at the clock and my time is really going fast because I guess I have so much to say. I just got to keep cutting it down. But anyway, the other mindset issue or thing that I think is important or aspect is having a growth mindset as opposed to a fixed mindset. A growth mindset helps you to be able to, deal with that adversity in a positive way, in an effective way, in a way that's going to help you to learn from what it is that happened. That may not be something that you really wanted to happen, but it happened. And that's okay. You learn from that and you keep going. You don't look at it and say, oh, such a failure. Oh, it was just so awful. I'll never be able to recover from that. Those are things that just keep you locked down and focused on things that aren't important. We're all going to make mistakes, we're all going to have some issues. We just need to get through them. And as my one of my mentors always says, just pivot a little bit faster and use things that help you to shift. And some people use music, some people use reading, some people just take some time and they go and they sit by themselves and they deal with whatever it is, especially depending on what it is. You can go and sit in it and think about it and try to decide what's more important, or how can you make this better, or is it something that you just need to sit in for a while, deal with it, and then move on. So when you have a growth mindset, you can do that. When you have a fixed mindset, you're more so apt to be stuck and not want to move forward because you're stuck in that. Um, I'll say it for me. I get stuck in that sorry for myself, self pity type stuff, and I don't like that. So I would rather be able to take, the things that don't go as well, things that, don't, make me feel as good about how my day went or whatever, and be able to see, okay, so what could I do differently? What could I do that's going to help me to be able to, if this happens again, or what can I do to even prevent this from happening again? So those are a couple of the things that I want to talk to you about today. And I hope that the information was helpful. I hope that it was valuable for you. I'm not seeing any comments in the chat, so I will get to you whenever you have time to drop in, your questions, comments, your opinions, where you're coming in from, and I'll be able to give you a shout out. Like I said, whether you're here with me live and you can't get to your computer, or whether you're catching it on the replay, I still love to be able to share this information with you and hope that it is something that is helpful to you and that gives you some value. So basically, that is all I have for today. Today is Thursday, so today is my last day of going live. I do 3 days a week now, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So basically that is so tomorrow I'll be doing posting, and I'm getting back on track with my posting and things that I want to post. I'm still figuring that out because I was doing pretty good for a while, and then I let some things just kind of take over. And even though some of them are daily things, I still have to deal with them and just get through them and keep it moving. So basically, that is it. You already know that there's a free training or a free two free posts that are anti-salesy type posts that actually attract people to you. So that information will be on the video when it's downloaded. Down on the video when it's downloaded. In my It'll be in my on my face page on my face. I can't even. What is it? Okay, it's going to be on my Facebook page, which is my business page slash fan page, depending on when you started. It used to be called a fan page, and now people are leaning more towards calling it the business page. So that's where it will be. So I'm taking up enough of your time. I'm going to go and get out of here. And I apologize for going early. It's just that I did get the call from the people about my garage door, and it is so cold outside. But they are going to come by today. But they're coming right when I would be. It's the time frame of when I normally go live is right in the middle of that. So I'm going to go in and get off here and talk soon. Take care. Have an awesome, awesome day. Bye now.